Welcome to today's episode. We all know that on this channel we talk about everyday life issues. Going by the title of today's episode, it is the unspoken struggles of working parents. We all know that for some time now we have been hearing, what are you bringing to the table? Those are the questions, or that is the question that men keep asking women these days. And women too, we have been saying that we don't want to be our mothers anymore. We don't want to be that woman who is in marriage suffering and smiling. We want equal rights with the men. And the men say, okay, if you want equal rights, what are you bringing to the table? If I am bringing 50, you will also bring the other half of the 50. I don't think men thought it through before they came up with the idea of what are you bringing to the table, or with the idea of 50-50. They don't know that their kingship, like them being treated as a king, will be something they will no longer enjoy, or they will be stripped of their king or kingship treatment. So what am I trying to say? Like I said earlier, women of these days, we keep hearing, we don't want to be our mother, we are not our mother, we just want to stand shoulder to shoulder with the men. Oh, it's not like we want to stand shoulder to shoulder with the men, but we just want to be treated better than what our mothers, or we just want to be treated better than how our mothers were treated. We all know that back in the days, when a man goes out to work and basically provide for the family, he leaves the woman with no little or no expectation from the man. So when the man comes back, all you have to do is like try to please him by all means, by asking, what are you going to eat, or your food is ready, or your water is ready, this and that, and the man will eat, shower, and decide to just relax and not necessarily talk to the wife or expect that the wife would demand anything from him. After all, he has already gone out to make money for the family. After his 9 to 5, every other hour after 5 p.m., he has it all to himself, not necessarily showing his wife attention or having an effective communication with the wife. But you all know, as women, we grew up to just accommodate all of that behavior from men. So these days, the women say we don't want to be treated like that. We want to be equal. We want that kingship or that king treatment that we give to our husbands. The husband will also give us the queen treatment as well. What am I trying to say? We all know that these days, since men have been saying that what are we bringing to the table, the women are working twice as hard as men. I don't want to say, let me just say they work twice as hard or equally as hard as men. So these days, parents or couples come back home tired. That makes every other thing that's supposed to be going on in that relationship to suffer, or in that marriage to suffer. Just because we don't want to be treated like a leftover, or we don't want to be treated like a burden, or we don't want to be treated like a charity case, we all have decided to put on our working boots and go get that career. Yeah? So a husband is working 9 to 5, the wife is working 9 to 5, and this is where the problem is. Okay? There's something men do not know. A man do not get to say that because I went out to work for 9 to 5, that is me being a husband. That is not you being a husband. That is just you doing one of the duties that you're supposed to do as a man. Men forget that even if they were not married, you will also have to go to work. So what I'm trying to say is that men, women, get it out of your head. Going to work is you being an employee. Going to work is you just trying to be responsible citizens, okay? You going to work, it's just you. I don't know how to say it. It's just one part of you. It's just a means to your livelihood. It is not you being a husband. That is not a duty. How do I put it? I don't want you guys to misunderstand me here. I'm not saying because a man went to work, he's not, how do I say? Okay, let's put it like that. You going to work, that is not you being a father. You going to work, that is not you being a husband. So if you come back home, you're still going to play your husband duty by paying attention to your wife, like creating a romantic relationship and having effective communication. There should be a relationship between you and your wife when you are back from work. Don't just come back from work and feel like, oh, because I had gone to make money, that is where my duty as a husband ends, or that's where my duty as a father ends. That is not a duty. That's going to work is not a father duty. Going to work is not a mother duty. I do not know how to. I don't know how much I'm going to say this. Okay, let's just understand that as you go out to work, work smart so that you can have something left to come back to your family. There's always people always say that we should balance work and family life. It's almost impossible. We all know that. Sometimes you go to work and you are so stressed. But my only thing is that as a woman as well, don't go to work and come back and say you are too tired to attend to your husband, or you are too tired to attend to your wife, or you are too tired to attend to your children. Going to work is not your mother, that's not being a mother. Going to work, that's not being a wife. Going to work, that's not you being a homemaker. Before I continue, how come being a homemaker as a woman is not a career? It should be. When they are listing careers, homemaking should be one of them. Okay, because homemaking is that thing that the man will expect, that you will go to work and come back and still make his home, or and still create a conducive home for him to come back to. But it's the same thing that the woman was doing all the while that men thought that we were doing nothing. Now we have decided to add a 9 to 5 to being a homemaker, and somehow it's not working. What am I trying to say? It has come to my attention, or it has become a thing, and I would say I am guilty of it myself, because when I come from work, I feel like I have done it all. Like I don't even have the strength left to do any other thing. So you see, the family is suffering, the marriage is suffering, the kids are suffering, the home, the environment in which you are living, it's also not conducive, because if you maybe somehow the living room have not been swept for days, the kitchen has not been touched for days, the fridge is empty, there's no food, the kids are just living from cereal to bread and all of that. There's just no proper balanced meal for the kids. So everyone is suffering. And somehow men are becoming comfortable with this 50-50 kind of thing. That is not the purpose of marriage. Please, as a wife, when you go to work and come back, don't think that you have done it all. That is just one little part of you. That is just you being an adult, basically. It's not part of the family union. It's not part of the family business. Don't come back home and say, I'm too tired. I can't cook for my husband. Even if you cannot cook, even if you cannot cook, try. It is your responsibility to make that man understand that I am really tired. Now, that is when effective communication comes in. Now, that is when we will know that if you have home training or not, if your mother truly raised you well. The manner in which you relate that message to the man that, oh dear, I am so tired. Can you do XYZ? I promise you tomorrow I'm going to do A and B. It's just the manner in which you communicate. And please, husbands, for years, women have been serving you. When you come back from work back in the days, some women, like men, expect that a woman will take a bowl of water and wash his feet, basically bathe him, and his dinner is ready, his bed is well dressed, his clothes are ironed. Like all he does is wake up, shower himself, wear the clothes that his wife had ironed, eat the food that the wife had cooked, come back to a warm bed, and everything. The children are doing well in school, the homework is done, the home front is sparkling, everything is on point. That was what the woman was doing before, while you were doing your 9 to 5. Why again do you expect that a woman will have the same 9 to 5 that you had all the while that you were not doing nothing other than that 9 to 5, but now you expect that a woman will go to work and come back and still occupy all of that duty, basically still be that homemaker? Like I said, homemaking should be one of the careers when they are listing careers and whatever they are listing it, or how do I put it? But we all know that in this day and time, it is hard. It is hard. We cannot leave it all to the men to do it alone. Somehow we have found ourselves in this, whatever we are doing now. It is hard. Juggling. All we're trying to do is juggle work and family. Somehow, if you juggle the ball, you might not be able to catch the other one, and it's going to fall. And somehow, I would say the family is falling. The family is suffering. Even friends and families are suffering because when a woman comes back home tired, if she cannot attend to her family, how can she attend to friends? There's no effective communication between a husband and a wife anymore because everyone is coming home tired. The parents are tired. The kids are practically just looking after themselves. They are there, the parents are there, right? Because if you're doing a 9 to 5, most basically the kids and you are coming home almost at the same time. But what happened after the homecoming? Everyone is just retiring to their rooms. No one is really talking to anybody. Your kids are asking you if you just grab the series. Like there is no family bond, there's no effective communication, there is basically nothing. The kids are coming to tell you how their day went, and you're already snoring off, or you're like, oh, let me attend to this later. So, what am I trying to say? However, the life, or however, or wherever this life takes us, please, wives, you going to work is not you being a wife, it's not you being a mother. Fathers, you going to work is not you being a husband, and it's not you being a father. Let's just find a common ground when we come back home. Like I said, the only way we can do, don't overload yourself as parents, don't overload yourself as a husband, don't overload yourself as a wife, so that you can have some time for the family when you all come back home. We all know that everything starts from the family unit. If I don't know for every other person, but family is the reason why we do what we are doing right now. So if your husband is suffering, your children are suffering, as a wife, I don't think you have achieved anything. As a husband, if your wife is also suffering from lack of attention and care, and your children know that you are there, but you're not really there, I don't think you have achieved anything as a husband or as a man. So please, let's not misunderstand this whole thing that, oh, as long as I have gone to work, I think I have done my very best. It is not true. It is just not true. It is, maybe it's true that we are all tired, but like again, like I said, that is when very empathetic, sympathetic, and very polite communication comes in. How are you telling your wife that you need her to do something for you? How are you telling your husband that, oh, I cannot meet up with this demand today? Can you just help me? I promise you, I'm going to do better tomorrow. Let's not forsake the unit of family just because we want to get a career. Let's not just leave the children and the husband and the wife suffering just because I know that's where the money is coming from. But we all know, like they say, not be everything be money. So let's just truly find a balance. But first and foremost, let's just erase the understanding or the mindset that as long as I have gone to work, I as long as I have gone to work, I think I have done my best. As long as I'm contributing my other 50 to this family, I thought that family unit is more than money. Don't say because I'm meeting my part of the 50% of the family, which is in financial how do I say, which is financially, I have done it all. Family is more than finance. Being a wife is more than finance. Being a husband is more than finance. Being parents to your children is more than finance. We already know this already. Like you cannot buy shoes for your children and not check whether their legs will fit in that shoe, whether they have a sore on the leg. So what I'm trying to say is that before you go out to buy the shoes, please check the children's feet, that all their 5 fingers or 5 toes or whatever it's called is working. Okay, it's not just all about money. Let's keep the family going. Let's not forget that marriage is ordained by God. So if you're not keeping your marriage together, if you're not keeping your family together, and you're putting the career first, then you are failing God. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next episode.